Venezuela in panic. Reports claim hundreds of Delta Force operators and 5,000 U.S. Marines move into Caracas. Caracas, Venezuela. Venezuela has been thrown into a state of extreme tension and nationwide panic following explosive reports that elite U.S. military units, including hundreds of Delta Force operators and up to 5,000 U.S. Marines, have entered the capital city of Caracas amid a rapidly escalating security crisis. From the early hours of the morning, residents across Caracas reported heavy military activity, loud explosions, low-flying aircraft, and the movement of armored vehicles near strategic government and military facilities. Social media platforms were flooded with unverified videos showing armed personnel in tactical gear moving through key districts, fueling fear and uncertainty among civilians. Elite forces allegedly deployed in a high-risk operation. According to multiple regional sources and security analysts, the operation reportedly involves U.S. Special Operations Forces, including Delta Force units tasked with high-value targeting and urban warfare operations. These forces are said to be supported by thousands of U.S. Marines, allegedly positioned to secure critical infrastructure such as airports, communication hubs, and government buildings. While Washington has not officially confirmed the scale of the deployment, Pentagon officials acknowledged increased military readiness in the Caribbean region, citing the need to protect U.S. interests and personnel amid growing instability in Venezuela. Caracas on edge, streets under heavy security. Inside the capital, the situation has deteriorated rapidly. Venezuelan security forces established roadblocks across major avenues, deployed armored vehicles near presidential and military compounds, and suspended public transportation in several districts. Schools, offices, and businesses closed as residents rushed to stockpile food and fuel, fearing prolonged unrest or direct clashes. Witnesses described sporadic gunfire, power outages, and disruptions to mobile networks, raising concerns that the city could be entering a prolonged period of urban conflict. People are afraid to leave their homes. No one knows who controls which part of the city anymore, said a Caracas resident speaking anonymously. Government reaction. An act of aggression. The Venezuelan government swiftly condemned the reported incursion, calling it a blatant act of foreign military aggression and a violation of national sovereignty. Senior officials accused the United States of attempting to destabilize the country and overthrow its leadership under the pretext of security and counter-narcotics operations. State media urged citizens to remain calm while announcing the mobilization of loyal military units and civilian militias to defend the capital. Pro-government armed groups were reportedly deployed in several neighborhoods, further heightening fears of street-level violence. International alarm and regional impact. The alleged entry of U.S. forces into Caracas has triggered alarm across Latin America and beyond. Several regional governments called for immediate de-escalation, warning that any large-scale military confrontation in Venezuela could destabilize the entire region. Airlines diverted flights away from Venezuelan airspace, and neighboring countries increased border security amid concerns of refugee flows if violence intensifies. The United Nations and other international organizations are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, with diplomatic efforts underway to prevent a wider conflict. Uncertainty and fear dominate the capital. As night fell over Caracas, the atmosphere remained tense and unpredictable. Military checkpoints, sirens, and helicopter patrols dominated the city's soundscape. Many residents fear that the reported presence of U.S. Marines and elite special forces signals the beginning of a new and dangerous phase in Venezuela's long-running crisis. Whether the reports of thousands of foreign troops inside the capital are fully accurate or exaggerated, one reality is clear: Venezuela is gripped by panic, and the risk of further escalation remains dangerously high. Military analysts suggest that the reported deployment of U.S. Delta Force and thousands of Marines into and around Caracas may be part of a highly coordinated, multi-phase operation. Such an operation would likely aim to neutralize command and control centers, secure key political figures, and prevent loyalist forces from organizing a counteroffensive. Experts note that Delta Force specializes in urban hostage rescue, high-value target capture, and covert raids, making their alleged presence particularly alarming. Meanwhile, U.S. Marines would be tasked with holding ground, protecting evacuation corridors, and stabilizing critical infrastructure such as ports, oil facilities, and international airports. If confirmed, this level of involvement would represent one of the most direct U.S. military interventions in Latin America in decades. Psychological impact on the population. Beyond the military dimension, the psychological impact on Venezuela's population has been profound. Reports indicate widespread panic buying, long queues at fuel stations, and the rapid spread of rumors warning of an imminent siege of the capital. Hospitals were placed on emergency standby, while internet slowdowns and communication disruptions deepened public anxiety. Analysts warn that information warfare and psychological operations may be unfolding alongside physical troop movements, amplifying fear and confusion. Risk of armed clashes and civil unrest. The greatest concern remains the possibility of direct clashes between foreign forces, Venezuelan loyalist units, and heavily armed pro-government militias. Caracas, a densely populated metropolis, would be particularly vulnerable to collateral damage in any sustained urban confrontation. Security experts caution that even limited engagements could quickly spiral into widespread civil unrest, triggering mass displacement and a humanitarian emergency. Venezuela's already fragile economy and social infrastructure would face unprecedented strain. Geopolitical stakes continue to rise. The crisis has become a focal point of global geopolitics. Major powers are closely monitoring the situation, calculating how a potential collapse of state authority or forced leadership change in Venezuela could affect energy markets, regional alliances, and global security balances. Diplomatic backchannels are reportedly active, but the lack of transparency surrounding military movements has left the international community on edge. Closing. A nation holding its breath. As the situation continues to unfold, Caracas remains on the brink, caught between fear, uncertainty, and the looming threat of escalation. Whether the reports of hundreds of Delta Force operators and 5,000 U.S. Marines inside the capital are ultimately confirmed or not, the atmosphere of panic itself has already reshaped daily life in Venezuela. For millions of Venezuelans, the question is no longer about politics alone, but about survival, stability, and the future of their country. The coming hours and days will be critical. One miscalculation could ignite a broader conflict with consequences far beyond Venezuela's borders. For now, the world watches and Venezuela waits,